Hey everybody, welcome to Combat Saturday for Independence Day, July 4th, 2020. I'm your host, DM Gallibond. Hey everyone, welcome to Independence Day 2020. A little bit of a muted holiday today. I know in a lot of places fireworks are either scaled back or canceled altogether. In my town, there's been a tradition for, oh gosh, going on, I think it's over 40 years now. They've done a celebration that they call Red Hot and Boom for Independence Day. And this year, for the first time, I think ever, they've actually canceled it because of the COVID and everything, and needing to keep people socially distant. So, yeah, kind of a bummer there. But for Combat Saturday today, we have brought you the next best thing. We have brought you the grenade launcher and grenades from D&D. Yes, folks, that's right. There are rules in D&D 5th edition and in a couple of other editions for how to use exotic or modern weapons. Such as grenade launchers and grenades. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this. We will take a look, as we always do, at the 5th edition rules. All right, we'll start with the grenade launcher itself. Now you notice here, there's no cost. That's because this is extremely exotic, extremely rare. And it's kind of up to the DM whether they would want to allow it, and then how frequently those are in there. So if you're in a campaign or in an arc of a campaign where there's just all kinds of modern weapons around and everything, yeah, they might be relatively cheap. But if there's some kind of weird, crossover that this extremely futuristic weapon from the standpoint of your D&D characters has somehow found its way into their dimension, then it could be nearly priceless. But they're 7 pounds, and the grenade launcher can use it to hurl a grenade weapon up to 120 feet. So what are grenade weapons in D&D? Well, there are several different kinds of grenade weapons for several different purposes. One of them is a smoke grenade, which is used to obscure the vision of your enemies. You can throw a grenade at a point up to 60 feet away, or with a grenade launcher, you can propel it up to 120 feet away. One round after it lands, it emits a cloud of smoke that creates heavily obscured area in a 20-foot radius. Moderate wind disperses the smoke in 4 rounds, or a strong wind disperses it in 1 round. All right, so that, again, there's no price because it's a modern weapon, and it's up to the GM how rare that is and how frequent it is. And then we get to the fragmentation grenades. These are good old-fashioned grenades you think about from, war movies and whatnot. Little metal pineapple thing, you pull the pin, you throw it, and it blows up. As an action, a character can throw a grenade to a point up to 60 feet away. The grenade launcher can propel it up to 120 feet away. Each creature within 20 feet of exploding fragmentation grenade must make a DC 15 dexterity or take 5d6 piercing damage on a failed save, or half as much on a successful one. So yeah, it's intended to be powerful. Intended to be a big blast. It's not as big as a fireball, but 5d6 is pretty darn good for what essentially is a non-magical weapon. I mean, gunpowder is a chemical substance, so you could think of it as a chemically powered weapon, but something that just blows up and scatters shrapnel everywhere, just like a real grenade can unfortunately do a number on people. All right, so then there is probably my favorite callback to old rules of D&D, and that is the Tangler Grenade. There used to be, I think it was in 3rd edition when we played all the time, our favorite thing to get was something called a Tanglefoot Bag. And basically, it's a little leather pouch that's filled with a resin substance, and you toss it out, and when it hits the ground, it spreads out in an area, and anybody that steps in it, or better yet, if you land it close enough to somebody, it will trap them like a fly trapped in amber. I mean, it just sticks them to the ground, and they've got to spend an action or make a saving throw to get out of it, and then they've got all this goo all over them, and it's a nice way of tying down enemies on the battlefield. Tangler Grenade is an alchemical, non-magical item with an ovoid resin shell that shatters on impact. As an action, a creature can throw a Tangler Grenade at a point up to 60 feet away, or each creature within 10 feet of a shattered Tangler Grenade must succeed in DC 15 or be restrained by sticky white webs. As an action, a creature can try to free itself by another creature within its reach from these webs, doing so with a successful DC 20 athletics check. A gallon of alcohol dissolves the web produced by a single Tangler Grenade. Otherwise, the webs dissolve on their own after 1 hour, freeing any creatures restrained by them. So it's I wouldn't say harmless because it restrains people, but it's a something that uses minimal force. That if you're looking to subdue your enemies and maybe capture enemies as opposed to just outright killing them, the Tangler Grenade is a good option there. All right, and if we go back into older editions of the game, there's actually some rules going all the way back to AD&D for an Old West RPG that TSR created called Boot Hill. And Boot Hill gave you firearms, but it was like mainly handguns and long guns and shotguns and those things like that, because it was modeled after the Old West. It really wasn't about grenades, because those were more like weapons of war as opposed to weapons of gunfighters and outlaws and people exploring the West. But in 3rd edition, they actually came up with a whole list of modern era weapons, including the grenade launcher, and including the the grenades themselves. So a grenade launcher by itself would really wouldn't do any damage. I mean, you could use it like that tube. You could use it to beat people over the head with, but it would only deal 1 point of damage. 7 pounds, and the increment range is 70 feet. So 70 feet short range, 70 plus 70, 140 feet for medium range, and then up to 210 for long range. And there's penalties associated with bonuses for short range, penalty for long range, and no bonus or penalty for medium range. And then you have two different types of grenades. You have fragmentation and smoke grenades. So fragmentation will do 46 damage. Smoke grenade just basically deals smoke, blast radius, range increment, the weight, and the fragmentation grenade is slashing damage in this edition of the game. Okay. Must be loaded each time it fires, requiring a standard action. Grenade launcher is a tube set on a metal tripod and equipped with a sighting mechanism. Single smoke grenade or fragmentation grenade easily slips into the tube. Okay. And then fragmentation grenade looks like a large egg, sometimes mounted on a 1-foot long stick with small fins. Thrown, it uses a range increment, but if launched from a grenade launcher, it uses that weapon's range increment. Fragmentation grenades are advanced anti-personnel explosives that deal slashing damage in a 20-foot radius. And then again, it talks about how the smoke grenade obscures the area and the kind of wind that it takes to disperse it. All right, so that's our look at grenades and grenade launchers. If you are in an area where today, this evening, you're going to have a chance to go see fireworks, well, please be safe and go and enjoy. Watch it, but watch safely. And because it's a wonderful thing to remember and commemorate. Bummer that we're having to do it in the middle of a pandemic, but what's you gonna do? And if you're gonna be out for other reasons, social justice or other things like that, just be safe while you're doing that too. Also, extremely important that we advance the cause of freedom for everyone, not just some people, but for all people. And so, everyone out there protesting for social justice has my full support, and we will just ask everyone to be safe while you're doing that. All right, take care, everybody. Hope that you have a wonderful and safe and happy Independence Day. Remember, if you like the stuff that we do on this channel, please go ahead and click the subscribe button down below. Ring that bell. That will let you know every time that we post something new to the channel. And you can go ahead and, if you've used any of these futuristic weapons in your D&D campaign, either as a DM or as a player, what were the effects? What was something memorable about using the grenades? Or if you had an enemy that used the grenades against you, was that something that surprised you, or were you able to capture those and eventually use them yourselves? Let me know down in the comments below. Also, in the description, you'll find how you can follow me on all of the social media channels and everything like that. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Take care, have a wonderful day, and we will talk to you tomorrow. Good night, everybody.